Welcome to the Man of Thoughts, aka the Villain of Truth, aka the Black Panther of Nigeria. Who are those that will be joining me live this evening? It was funny that a lot of people did not have time to join my program today that I have with Mr. Adejare Ademola. I was having a conversation today about real estate, and I think that those who are interested in investing in Lagos, I love Mr. Dejare's platform. I've been observing him, I've been seeing most of his work. And so I would tell you that if you are willing to invest, please go through that individual. Today is Saturday, and I'm lying down on my bed very early. Normally, I would have stood up and be making videos just the way I used to stand. But now I'm just lying on the bed, relaxing, and I'm not putting on any TV. I'm just watching. you know, the reason why I had to lie down very early is because tomorrow morning I have a conversation I'll be having with my audience. And most times on Sunday, when I speak to people, at least minimum I might have maybe 4,000 views or 4,000 people join me live. There were a time I was having 13,000, 16,000 people joining me live on Sunday. And so I will be having a live video tomorrow. Eh, 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 eh. And you see, the idea is we are going to be speaking on many subjects. Part of the subject I'll be discussing on is on suffering. But sometimes when I look at my nation, I look at our people, I look at the hypocrisy of religion, I kind of shake my head. I kind of shake my head. You see, life is just like a place where the power of foolishness is no. The power of foolishness is so great, it's so huge, it's undeniable. And humans kind of look for an easy path in life. And one of the things humans kind of focus on is we don't want to be responsible because we believe there are things that we can do ourselves. And the things we can do for ourselves is based off the platform that has been set or certain principles that have been set for us. And I call that lazy mindset. There is no doubt that till the world would end, some people will suffer. And the reason why a lot of people will suffer is just basically because let us even remove the tragedies of life, because tragedy of life is part of it. So suffering regarding the aspect of tragedy is there. But there's another kind of suffering that is more than tragic suffering. That suffering is what we call stupid suffering. And those are part of these conversations I'll be having tomorrow about suffering. There is Redeemed Church or people who they call Pastor Adeboye and the rest of it. Can you see? God. Uh, I was still talking about something and now I'm seeing message. One way or the other, to be honest, I get tired of calling people's name when you just join me on live and you say, can you please call my name? Can you say my name, please? At the end of the day, when I say your name, the next thing you start asking me is, can I off my shirt? Are you a man or a woman? If you are a woman, I can call your name. If you are a man, I can't call your name. You should know your name by now. Don't you know your name? Why would you ask me your name to call your name for you? If you wanted me to greet somebody for you and say that, um, I have my sister is celebrating birthday. Can you put out a shout out to her? That would make sense. But you come to me on live and you say I should shout your name. Do you think I'm mad? Do I look like a crazy person to you? To start calling your name. Then at the end of the day, you ask me to off my shirt like I'm doing OnlyFans. Ọ̀rọ̀ burúkú tó ń tẹ̀rín. If you don't know your name, why should I call your name? Call your name for me. You didn't start with hello. And it's like most of all these alphabetical people, you guys have a special kinds of brain. And that brain is a brain to seduce people. To kind of, there's a mentality that you guys have. And I think that mentality it is a virus mentality. The alphabetical other people. And those who knows what alphabetical people means, you know them exactly. That's sickness too. The alphabetical sickness and the sickness of the religious people, some of them are almost the same thing. It is rare for you to see an alphabetical person who thinks in a kind of sensible way. It is easy for us to call certain individuals pedophiles. It's easy for us to call certain people criminals. When a man is talking to a lady and it's asking her, you say, is Haley Hall. You all call all those kind of names. But when a gay come on live and start asking another man to call his name, we wouldn't call that ped. That's mano gay. Garbage. Please do not. This my channel. You need to be aware that I'm an African man. And in African, we frown upon all this stuff that goes on in a lot of Western culture. It is irritating. It's appalling. We can never come to understand a lot of things that you guys are dancing to. Yeah, you come to my channel and you start asking me what is your name. Let me call your name for you. Is your name Jesus? Is your name Jesus? Are you trying to give me salvation? Many of you, you have different channels. You can go to X videos. You can go to XX. You can go to all kinds of con channels to go and ask them for and go and be paying this thing. What do they call it? OnlyFans. Go there and you'll be seeing OnlyFans, and they'll be showing you all kinds of things. They said they do it there, so you can go and do it there. You don't come on YouTube. YouTube is a space where people discuss sensible things. On YouTube, it's not about genitalia sentiment or genitalia mentality. It is about people with integrity trying to have a conversation to make the world a better place. So when you come to my channel and you are telling me I should call your name, you are not a woman, number one. Then you are a man. Then I should call your name. Then when I call your name, you now say, oh, I look cute. Haven't you heard man's not hot? Men are not hot. Whatever is going on with you, when we say some things, before you know, they should go and report to somebody. When they go and report, I beg, I still have many money I want to take. Kí má lọ sọ̀rọ̀ jù. Please, so if there are important people who have better conversations we can have, please, you can write. Not anybody coming on live and be asking me, can I call your name? You don't know your name. If you don't know your name, go and meet your family members. At least you should have people who actually take care of you, even if you don't have family members. They should be able to call your name for you. Mm. I'm laying down simply because I want to have rest for tomorrow. And those of us who are actually having time planning for service, going to church tomorrow, I know a lot of people will be having time to come on live by tomorrow morning by 8 a.m. And it's definitely going to be interesting when people decide to join tomorrow because we are going to discuss about things that actually makes sense. Good day, Mr. Abiodun Adebusola, our prince from Oshun. We already had a conversation today. I had an interview with a guest not quite long, around 5 p.m. today, and I think it's already on live. Uh, we are going to be having another episode, a different discussion that will be tomorrow. I'm just about to relax, and I'm just smiling at the situations of most religious people in Africa. And by tomorrow, I have a message I'm going to be passing across. I'm just like, okay, let me say hi to my audience before I go to sleep. If there are any questions, any conversations they are willing to have, I would love to listen to them. Well, as I came, I saw one person that does not know their name asking me what is their name. What is their name? Ew, it's interesting. So there's nothing much except there's any conversation anyone would like us to view or revisit or talk about. Yes, that's when we can. Hey, good day, Debbie Murdoch. Hope you had a great Saturday. Hope you had a great weekend. Yeah. We actually spoke more on I think our focus of discussion today was on just real estate. Earlier in the morning, I discussed Ekushema. Earlier this morning, we spoke about things that has to do with lowering your standard. And I discussed about people bringing out their standard so that they can have good relationship with individuals. When it comes to us communicating or relating with each other to have a long lasting relationship, I spoke about the fact that we don't need to emphasize more on raising our standards, most especially when it has to do with our loved ones. And what I mean by that statement is that most times when we talk about raising of standards, we are actually doing most of those things basically because we are trying to please the society, or we want the society to see us in a particular kind of perspective. And as much as love is concerned, raising standard is not a solution to anything. In fact, it is just a way to prove to people that you have done something big in your life, which we all haven't. We are just humans at the end of the day. So I frown and I spoke extensively on lowering your standard. In fact, a lot of people have too many high standards, and that has been one of the problem why they cannot engage with people in their life, why they cannot have long-lasting relationship. In fact, in my life, every single person I've dated, I date them because of who they are. In my past relationship, anyone I date you because of your heart. who you are, how loving you are, how is your character. These are the things that actually matters in life. I'm not saying you get an illiterate, but I'm like, do not focus so much on the standard of, oh, does this lady have PhD? Does she have BSc? Does she has HIV? Does she have STDs? These are not criteria that will make you date someone. In fact, that is if you're looking for long-lasting relationship, those are just society expectations. Or else you might find yourself dating someone like Kamala Harris, the one that wants to become president, the demon that want to become president of the US. ah, thank God at least the blacks are waking up to realize that she's not the best candidate for them. Hmm. The devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. So I am preparing a message for tomorrow, which I have done. I'm done preparing the message. I've written, go through the Bible, go through our cultural practices, go through Yoruba traditions, go through a lot of things. And we are going to be discussing extensively on the idea of what did I call it? On suffering, the importance of suffering in life. And sometimes we need to know the value of certain things that are denial to us as human beings, and the positive side of it. We need to be able to focus on it so it makes us better people. Because in life, there are few things that are inevitable. And because those things are inevitable, we need to know the purpose behind them. And when we understand the purpose behind a lot of things, going through those things either in a joyful state, or if we go through things in a painful state, we can understand the purpose behind what we go through. And one of the things I realized about African culture, the reason why we were able to leave some of our traditions and culture was basically because as we grow, we started saying things as sentimental when our parent tells us some things, and we say, oh, mommy, daddy, this thing you are saying is just, you are just being sentimental about it. There is no real stuff about it. And I discovered something, that it was basically because they were giving us laws and they were not telling us the reason behind those laws. They were giving us traditions and culture to obey without telling us the reason behind those traditions and culture. And I think slowly, because there was no explanation, these are part of the things that made us lose our culture and tradition. That's why, as I grew up and I got married and I had my kids, I told my wife immediately, I said, see, I don't want my children to be obedient to me. Oh, I am not asking my children to be obedient. I don't pray to God and kneel down that my children should be obedient. Because after studying a lot of things in history, I discovered that obedience is a cornerstone for slavery. And so when I tell my child to do something, I expect my child to ask me a question, why? If I tell my son to go and turn off his TV, to go to his room, he should ask me why. And I tell him, he's 8. You are supposed to sleep, you are supposed to lay on bed by 8 p.m. or by 9 p.m. You are going to school tomorrow. There should be a reason. If it's weekend, okay, you have to enjoy. There should be an explanation, because the explanation gives the child an understanding of why the rules and the laws are being given to him. Unlike society whereby people just give us laws and we don't even ask ourselves, what is the purpose behind the law? And besides, you are going to see too many religious people also. That's why I say obedience is the cornerstone of slavery. Most religious people also, when Bible says certain things or Bible gives certain laws, most people do not question and ask themselves, what is the reason behind these laws? Why would God say this? Because if you understand the why, you would also understand the time. And then you would understand if the time and the why is also equated to your time. maybe part of the principles that are being written in the scripture during those times are some of those principles applicable right now. So these are the things we need to do as people, and that's why whenever I come on live most times, or sometimes when I speak twice in a day or so, I always come back live to ask people, is there anything troubling in your mind? Is there anything I've talked about that you would like to ask me question on? Because most churches, you just hear the pastors and you hear people preach gospel and they expect people to just accept it. And in fact, a lot of people just accept it because they don't ask question. Any conversation that does not come with a question is not a conversation, where the person cannot respond, except the person fully understands what you're saying. So I will be debunking some stuff. And unfortunately, I was on live. I started hearing some things about Adeboye and the rest of it. I hate going against religious leaders, but they wouldn't stop lying. There is one now that we heard that there was a video I watched where Adeboye said that a woman, or a woman, she heard that her sister died. And then he prayed and he gave her, they've prayed in an handkerchief before. And they told her that her sister died probably in Port Harcourt and she was busy. So on the 10th day, they've already embalmed her sister and they put the lady, she's already been embalmed. And she called them and she said, don't take my sister to the mortuary. When I come, we would make arrangements. And when she got there, she took the handkerchief that Adeboye gave to her, Pastor E.A. Adeboye, because I have the video where he said it with his own mouth. And he rubbed her with the handkerchief and he says, my sister, in the name of the God of Adeboye, rise up after 10 days and being embalmed. While she was going outside of the door, before she looked back, she heard a noise and she looked back and the person has risen and stand. Kilode. Why are these people just giving us comprehensive and incomprehensible fables? Why are they doing us like this? You lie. They lie. Some people bump themselves to go to heaven and have 7 virgins. All kinds of lie. Right now, they are just lying so much with extreme confidence. I think there's what we call confidence and there's what we call extreme confidence. And you see, when Adeboye is saying all these things, he will be very quiet. And the Lord spoke to me. And he told her, he said, let me give her an handkerchief and she will use it to rob her sisters and the rest of it. Ademama Weloju Koroju, he will be looking at you eyeball to eyeball. You know, Adeboye is over 80, I think he's 82 years of age. And when an elderly person begins to blow some kind of lies, and so many people believe those lies and they can't question and say, okay, sir, these things you are saying, can you prove it? At least even Jesus Christ himself, when he died on the cross of Calvary and he came back to this thing, what did they call his name? Is it Titus they call his name? This guy that questioned Jesus and he said, let me put my hand to be sure that you are still Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Question things. And Jesus did not say, doubting Thomas. Jesus did not say, I'm not going to show you with my hand. Jesus allowed him to put his hand there to discover that I am Jesus that was nailed on the cross of Calvary. Jesus proved it. But when Adeboye talk, nobody ask him questions. We have Pastor Fufeyin Jeremiah, who is selling anointing water, water of Bathsheba, soap that heals, water that open doors, He started selling keys that you can use to open the heavens. And they're selling all these things to Nigerian people, and we are not thinking. Whenever you speak about things that has to do with most religious leaders, they will tell you that if you have moved away from the house of God, you shouldn't be saying things about the church. And it's so unfortunate that people are so misled. A lot of people who go to church don't know what to do if there's no church. They don't know what to do with their life if there's no church. That shows how lost we are. If I am a if I am the president of Nigeria, for example, I will first of all ban church. If you like to go to church, you must go and do farming first. On Sunday, before you attend church, you must use 2 hours of your life to cut grasses, cut bush. When you are able to cultivate and do something, then go and listen to what they have to say. When your brain comes to normal senses, you would know that there are activities to do in life. But because the world have become so much polluted and everybody is living this technological life, it is now empowering most of these pastors to be like, okay, since people don't work, because in the African culture, every day is work for us. And there are days where we celebrate due to either we are depending on the culture and depending on the tradition. We did not specify any specific day for one particular thing until religious ancestors and religious gurus came in with the Jesus Christ syndrome. And then they infected us. And this disease is making us pollute a lot of things. Well, I hope life is going to become great with time as time goes on. And my mission also is to make sure we open the eyes of people and to tell each other the truth. With that being said, I'm relaxing for the day. And hopefully by tomorrow, 8 p.m., 8 a.m., Kolon Jiwari, by the grace of God, I'll be live by 8 a.m. tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. And I have a particular message I'll be discussing about. And we are not trying to counter out the works of the Bible itself because there are so many wisdom in it. The same thing I would not counter out my culture or my traditions. I don't counter anything out. I think all of them have their purpose in life. There is nothing that is on the surface of this earth that does not have its own uses. The problem is that when some people want to sell their own product, they want to always tell you that the other products are not good. So when religious people come, they tell you your culture and your traditions are sins. When a traditional person comes, he tells you your religion is messed up. What I'm saying is this: there's wisdom in all of it. The only thing is that most people are not willing to do what it takes for them to get the wisdom themselves and do the work they ought to do. And that is the reason why they are shallow minded and then they defend what they have no clue about. So, my regards to everyone. Those of us who have joined me around 5 p.m. today on the real estate conversation, I appreciate you. Those who can go back and watch, please, if you can go back and watch, it is kind of very informative. Please do. But at the end of the day, join me by 8 a.m. tomorrow. By God's grace, we wake up all safe. Take care of your family. Dance and celebrate with your family. Rejoice with your family. These are the best things you can do with your life. These are the best things you can do with your life. And do not let anybody come on in your life and start asking you, call my name or of my can you show me your clothes? All those people who need deliverance, alphabetical orders people. So thank you very much everyone for joining me today. Have a great night. Sleep well. My regards to all your people. We would see and meet tomorrow. Have a great night. Adios, amigos. Bye bye for now.